Hey everybody, welcome back. Northernlion plays the Binding of Isaac Afterbirth Plus, and 11 wins in a row. We had our first, let's call it a semi-real test. There was the theoretical chance of demise on the last run. Hey baby, I'm here with the baby, of course, as always. There's your seed, VO2P, YY Envy. Great Rush song. YY Envy, YY Envy, VV, YY Envy, YY Envy. YYNV, YYNV. Sorry, it's, you know, a great band. Hey, YYZ is in the A or the S tier. It's, you know, I love Rush. But a song without Geddy Lee's vocals is tough for me to put it in the S tier. I think like YYZ is as close as it can get. He's mashing on that frickin' bass, man. Anyway, sorry. It's actually like a really, I'm very, I mean, I was already pleased. I was already bullish on the fact that we had picked up Petrified Poop even before this situation. Oh my god. Because what I was going to say is that, you know, Petrified Poop obviously is nice because we have the poop as our item. But on top of that, I really think that, like, the most valuable resource, it's a little dangerous, but the most valuable resource you can have as Blue Baby is money, in my opinion. Because the money allows you to get more spirit hearts, even more so than bombs. Obviously, early bombs are like, you know, the name of the game. I mean, this is a highly synergistic floor. We got Petrified Poop combined with the poop item. We got money equals power. Considering we've only had, you know, 2 things show up of any merit, that's pretty solid. I don't know, now I'm just like, just give me Pageant Boy. As long as we're living, we don't need to spend any of this money just yet. Obviously, like, more bombs would be nice, but our HP's looking great. You know, we might even have enough to get a deal with the devil, which is occasionally a little spooky as Blue Baby. But we're doing really well. I guess we have like a 0.2, 0.25, 0.28, something like that, damage buff. And I'm really glad we used our noggin. Right, baby? Because there's no need for us to use a bomb to grab a golden key on the first floor. Basically, you're only gonna, unless you find some golden chests, you're only gonna find one thing that you can use a key on, which is the shop. And if you're using a bomb to get a key, that's kind of like, you know, it's not an amazing trait. And it wouldn't have gotten the Tinted Rock either. We need the Tinted Rock to, or we need 2 bombs to be able to grab that Tinted Rock. This fight's going to be annoying, but not difficult. But anyway, I'm doing well. Thank you for, you know, presumably asking. It is a Friday. I mean, it was a Friday when I recorded the last episode as well. TGIF. I was telling Apollo, you know, Dumb Dog, I'm getting very close to the point where and by close I mean 2 of 7. I'm 2/7 of the way there, where I have a novelty Twitter account I look forward to every single day. We Shop Wednesday is a big one, you know, Super Mario RPG, Sonic the Hedgehog, Donkey Kong 3. And then on Friday there's always, I think it's called Craig Weekend. It's Daniel Craig on Saturday Night Live introducing The Weeknd as the musical guest. Ladies and gentlemen, The Weeknd. And it's, you know, because you post it on Friday night, because, hey, you get excited, it's the weekend. It's the frickin' weekend. Great item. Amazing item. So I need like some Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday, Sunday. Technically, I suppose, ladies and gentlemen, the weekend could count as a Friday, Saturday, Sunday. We could eliminate 3 days there, but it only posts on one day. The thing is, it only posts on one day, so I personally wouldn't count that, but anyway, now taking suggestions and auditions. Now, we do have, might strike you as being somewhat minor, but this Lover's card is actually quite nice for us if we can maybe get, I think this works. If we can get a second secret room, and then the second secret room pays out with demon hearts or spirit hearts, then I believe the Lovers would pay out with whichever of those it was. So there actually is like the potential for some serious value out of this card, even as Blue Baby. It just, you know, it has to be in a very specific situation that I would concern myself, you know, with finding more than really... Like, I don't think the card is that valuable right now. Especially with no bombs, but we could get there. And, you know, we are at 26 cents. It's a very sizable damage increase already here. Like, this is an incredibly blessed start. We lost some HP, but part of it was by design. We don't need to take a deal with the devil that's dubious. You know, at this point, we could really... I mean, the world's our oyster right now, you know? We don't have to do anything except stack HP and live, which is why I'm actually not re-rolling what I believe is Linger Bean. It's a passive we could take, even though we wouldn't be thrilled by it. But I'd rather use a bomb to reroll it than spend damage to reroll it. Like, what are we looking for? Like a damage upgrade. So, I mean, to spend damage looking for a damage upgrade, not saying it's, you know, untenable. But it might not be a 10 out of 10. We definitely do want to go to the shop, though. The shop gives us the potential to multiply our gains here. We at least want to look. I could not be persuaded yet. Again, if we get bombs and we can reroll, I could be persuaded, but for now, I don't see that persuasion. I'm enjoying, you know, we're stacking up our chips now and then. I'm feeling good about it, and really just hoping we pick up like a single bomb. Now, the exception to this is if we get a great deal with the devil, we could probably take it, and then just feel like pretty okay about our opportunity to use some of our money, which admittedly is some of our damage, but to do that, to probably create some Spirit Heart access. Just to stay alive. But it would have to be, I mean, we could get deals with the devil that we would just want to take to begin with, like Judas the Shadow, Abaddon, etc., etc. Alright, I'm a little embarrassed we even got hit once. We should take this. This is, you know, it's just a Spirit Heart. Guppy's Paw is not one of those items. It's not one of those items. So, you know, I'm very proud of the way this run is so far. I don't want to jeopardize it too much. So I have to think about what I want to do, because on most runs, you know, if you had 30 cents, we would not mind using a reroll machine in our item room at all. I guess I'm thinking too far ahead. You know, I'm looking at it and I'm like, well, what if we end up re-rolling it? You know, you get almost into like a sunk cost fallacy, right? You know, I've spent 12 cents re-rolling it and the item still sucks. Like, I gotta keep going, but... Okay, I mean, I would suggest that was probably as worth it as you could possibly get. And I think this is actually, like, literally, this is kind of the situation we tried to create. It is coming to pass. So we will take ourselves all the way down. Judas' Shadow. Now we have 13 damage. That's pretty good. And then we will reroll and buy. And I think that's good enough. I don't even want to buy anything else. I'm very happy with where we stand. I'm feeling very stoked. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I think Judas' Shadow might make every future penny better as well. So there is that. And this is an amazing looking run. I don't even know what to say. And it's a cool one too, because it's not like your traditional, like, oh, I got mom's knife. Like, this is a one run that is actually just quite clean, honestly. You know, just really... What is the one thing what is one of the things I complain about the most in Isaac? Let's not say the one thing. It's definitely just a dearth of statistical improvements, right? So, a run that has improved your statistics immensely, your attributes immensely, hey, I'm feeling great here. I'm feeling great. Anyway, yeah, it's Friday, and, you know, weird flex, but... You know, the baby's been very kind this week. Last week she was quite fussy, which is not unkind, as I've said many times, but you know what I mean. Been a little bit more conducive to Isaac, so I may actually not have to record on my day off. How about that? Just a small victory, you know? Which means, I mean, do you need me to say it? Ladies and gentlemen, the weekend. Now, this is a tough one, right? Petrified poop, I'm gonna stick with for now. Yes, we could blow it up, but we don't need to blow it up. I'm looking forward to like having a 500 streak, right? So I don't wanna ruin our donation machine that could save us on a few runs where we're running into trouble. -2 rate of fire for me right now, and this is not a normal situation. But -2 rate of fire for me right now is not worth the bonus that we're getting from petrified poop. I think we're getting much more of a bonus from petrified poop, and it's a bizarre thing to say. That's not a traditional scenario, but I can't deny that it's. I mean, we're living in strange times here. Not to mention, like, not only are we getting the damage, but we're getting the money out of it as well, which at some point might even allow us to buy an item, the original purpose of the currency to begin with. But yeah, I'm feeling good. You know, I know I've said this before, this is kind of inside baseball. It's not like complaining inside baseball. I don't think people hate inside baseball. I think they just hate when the streamer complains about anything related to... Oh, excuse me? He's done it. I think they hate when the streamer complains about, like, minor annoyances in their job and, you know, don't recognize that they're, you know, they have, like, one of the cushiest ones that has ever existed on planet Earth's history. Although I will say, there are cushier jobs. Especially since I started getting in investing. I think that just being a bad CEO is, like, the cushiest job of all time. Because it's basically the same as being a streamer. You don't do any work. And believe it, I know this is not going to be a popular thing to say, but if you might disagree that there's no bad CEOs, but there's definitely CEOs that are better than others. Let's put it that way. The Costco guy, he seems okay. And, you know, but the bad CEOs, even if the stock price does horribly, you know, they're making, you know, tens of millions of dollars a year just to be golfing, man. Would I rather be streaming or golfing? I don't know. I'm not much of a golfer, but I do like being outside. I love mini golf. Do you think mini golf has a high correlation with macro golf enjoyment? But anyway, I don't even remember what I was going to say when I was talking about inside baseball. It wasn't going to be a complaint at all. Oh, no, I remember what I was going to say. Mathis tweeted. He moved across the country recently, but Mathis tweeted, like, I think I'm going to start taking a genuine day off. Man, oh man, I could not, you know, emphasize the value of that enough. The mental health effect from just having one day where you don't have to touch your work is incalculable. And I thought I was above it for a while. But I think that, especially now that, you know, we've got a little bit more of a demand on our time, that day off is like... It's just nice because, like, here's the effect of a day off, okay? And I understand you might feel differently depending on your position and whether, you know, you hate going to school or you don't like your job or whatever. But just hear me out here, okay? Because I went, like, years without a traditional weekend, which is not to say we had no time off, but I went a long time without a traditional weekend. And I mean, I still only take one day a week, which is pretty typical for streamers. And I do stream probably still less than the average full-time streamer. For sure. But I'm trying not to feel guilty about that. Anyway, let's just ignore that part and move on. What I was going to say is you get the benefit of a day off to begin with, right? Everybody understands, you know, it's nice to have a 24-hour period where you can knock out your errands and, you know, also enjoy some leisure time. Nobody's going to dispute that. But then on top of that, it makes the 2 days that bookend the weekend better. My Friday is better as a result of the fact that if I have to deal with some BS on Friday, I can stay, you know, light as a feather, mentally speaking, because I know, like, all I have to tell myself in my head is, like, well, I don't have to deal with this tomorrow, you know, and then it feels good. And then, I know that this is, like, an anti-normal stance, it's a counterintuitive stance, but, like, I think I enjoy my Sundays more because I had the day off on Saturday to kind of, like, you know, remember, like, to break up the grind and remember what I appreciate about it. I know not everybody's out there in a position where you can, like, you know, choose your hours and, you know, and this is going to be a statement that you're going to have to listen to with some nuance. Just hear me out, though. Being able to choose whether or not to work 7 days a week is actually like an incredible privilege. What I mean by that is actually twofold. Some people, you know, are forced via economic forces, and yeah, let's just do that, to work 7 days a week. And that can't feel good. And then some people are kind of blessed to, you know, be in a position where if they wanted to, they could work 7 days a week. Because, you know, they're running their own business or they love their job or whatever. Piggy bank's kind of close. I'm just going to take one of those and call it a day. I don't want to spend too much here. But if you do find yourself in that position, I would recommend, you know, taking that day mightily. And I know it's a rare thing, but I would certainly, you know, consider it having the highest endorsement for me. Because then the other thing is, like, I really feel like it has a restorative effect, like, on your life. Like, I understand the idea that, like, here's something I hear a lot, right? Oh, I'm too busy to have hobbies. I understand that. Unfortunately, I think that everybody has hobbies. It's just a matter of whether or not they're hobbies you choose or hobbies that, you know, are kind of chosen for you by your situation. Like, oh, we got lucky with infamy there. And this is a bit of a, you know, an out there statement. So I'm figuring out how I feel about it at the time. But, you know, you might be like, oh, I can't get into carpentry because I don't have, like, you know, I'd really love to, but I don't have that kind of time. But instead, you know, because you're so busy, you only get, like, 2 hours a night to, you know, cook dinner and watch Netflix. Well, guess what? Netflix is your hobby now. Does that sound good? I mean, you know, I enjoy a little Netflix here and there. I'm not saying that every moment of your life has to be, you know, monetized for hustle culture or whatever. I'm just saying that, you know, I feel like if you took a more top-down approach and you were like, oh, you know, I could still maybe get into something that I find valuable or something like that. You know, maybe. I don't know where I'm going with this, but having that extra day helps me out there because, you know, there's sometimes throughout the week there's things that come up that, like, I want to investigate, and or, you know, I want to say, hey, maybe I'm going to be into this. Let's take maybe we'll explore this on the, you know, when I get a chance. Well, Saturday is that day where I get a chance. But again, I understand, like, this is really like streamer intel. I honestly, and this is genuine, I feel like if I ever, you know, decide that I don't want to be in the streaming industry anymore as a creator, which, you know, don't get apprehensive. That's a long way out. I really do appreciate pretty much everything about the job. If anything, by telling other people to get, you know, more quote-unquote real hobbies, I'm even protecting myself further because I'm like, don't treat watching me as your hobby. Put me on while you're working on the woodworking stuff in the background. It's an incredible room for us, but... Hey, baby. These are valuable life lessons, baby. Most people have never heard these before, so you should not complain, in my opinion. Unless you pooped your pants, in which case that's a little lower on Maslow's hierarchy of needs, I guess, than, you know, tone-deaf advice from a professional video game player. Okay, so, like, we don't need petrified poop anymore. And let's just be honest, Eden's Soul is just more fun. So we do lose the petrified poop benefit. And that would mean that we would prefer to take the cancer trinket, but I think that that's one floor ago, I think. So, that's fine. Hey, baby. Hey, baby. But, I really think that, and this is, I'm spitballing about stuff that, you know, may never happen. I think there's a case to be made for being like, you know, I think the streaming industry could use, like, a streaming dad. And I'm being close to sincere. I really feel like a lot of the problems, and I've been through almost all of them. I feel like a lot of the problems that streamers go through are kind of self-inflicted. You know, there's almost like a call of the void. And I'm taking the side of the every person here, okay? Sincerely. I think there's a self-destructive, like, call of the void. So streaming is, in many ways, the easiest job that has ever existed on planet Earth. And, like, all you gotta do to kind of, like, you know, keep yourself, you know, moving... Oh, we should not buy bad things. To keep yourself... Will this work? If this works, I'll buy this. To keep yourself moving straight ahead is, like, some obvious stuff, right? Take care of yourself, you know, physically and mentally. Drink enough water. Go to the bathroom. I would say... in addition to this, like, plan your streams with stuff that both you love to play, but also that people like to watch. And, you know, if you can get all that going for you, it's gravy. But so many people don't do it. I think it's just, I don't know. There's like some inherent streamer guilt that's like, no, I must suffer. Baby. And I'm like, nah, man, screw that. I'm telling you, being a streamer, manager slash dad, I think it's a role I would do okay in. Well, and what would that entail? I'd be like, you know, I would tell you to take a day off. I'd be like, hey, take a day off. Scout games for you. Be like, hey, I mean, like, I don't know. And again, you know, now we're way too deep in inside baseball. But with some streamers, you know, I see them, and this is nosy and kind of like, maybe even downright rude, but, you know, I'll see them like complain about viewership or whatever. And I'll be like, yeah, I mean, like, don't get me wrong. Like, we've had ebbs and flows. You can look at my own Twitch graphs. You know, we've had months where viewership was better or worse than others. But, like, of course, like, viewership's kind of gone down, you know? You've been playing, you know, you rode a wave for a game that came out, like, 3 years ago, and you've been playing it for 8 hours a day ever since. People are probably getting a little exhausted, you know? We gotta mix in a little sauce on that docket. I could be the saucier for streamers, I think. Like Kate came up with the idea of being like, and I don't know how viable, like, I mean, I think 0% viable, how viable this would be as a business or career, but the idea of being like a game sommelier. You'd be like, oh, yes, how are you feeling today, sir? Oh, I'm feeling in the mood for some zany variety. Oh, yes, okay, well, have you considered Alt F4? Quite a zany, sort of 3D getting over it, recently come in. I believe this one is from Korea. Oh, that sounds nice. And then you give him a juicy tip at the end of the meal. Ooh, baby. All right. I will. I did. Take me to the next floor. Here we go. Anyway, so that's the end of the Inside Baseball. Hey, streamers, if you're watching this, take a day off. Small Ant, you watching this? I don't know. You might already take a day off. I'm telling you. I'll also tell you the same thing I told Mathis, okay? I genuinely... Because I was hesitant to take a day off, too. You know, I was so stuck in this model of like, nah, I gotta make 9 videos a day of these games that, you know, certain people enjoy watching, don't get me wrong, or a certain amount of people, but, you know, it's kind of diminishing returns. I genuinely think by taking a day off, you'll be way more productive, you know, or at least the equivalent amount of productivity, but you'll also have a day off. Like, I used to think that I was immune to burnout. I don't think that's true. I think I am immune to the kind of burnout that makes streamers be like, oh, I'm gonna take a month off. Like, that scares the crap out of me, and honestly doesn't even appeal to me. I know it sounds like I'm just built different, but like I don't know, it doesn't interest me, I suppose. I would go stir crazy after the first couple of days, probably after the first 12 hours, honestly, which is more of a problem, to be honest, and something to be braggadocious about. But I've definitely, you know, I've realized only maybe in like the past couple of years that I actually, you know, I do suffer from burnout from time to time, and it's a good time to take a step back. So what does burnout look like for me? I mean, setting a thumbnail for a video, like setting all the metadata and stuff like that, might literally take 5 to 8 minutes if you're focused. If you find yourself taking a half hour to do that, guess what? You know, maybe you're just getting distracted. Maybe you're freaking getting distracted because you're a little burned out from editing the soy face onto every single thumbnail you got, right? Maybe save those for tomorrow morning and just enjoy watching a little Netflix. Anyway, that's, you know, again, I understand. I apologize. It's an insular bit, but you got to speak within your circle of competence, you know? My circle of competence is basically streaming, YouTube, baby stuff, and then also on top of that, we should at least re-roll this. Or if it was a re-roll, that was... Oh, no, conspiracy theory. And then complaining at the grocery store, but, you know, I haven't much complained about at the grocery store because I haven't been, recently. I think that'll be a nice stat up for us. We're not going to use, the teleporter very often, so... Should be pretty good. Not even going to worry about the bombs. Anyway. So yeah, just, you know, here's the thing. If you ever feel tired, and, oh, whoa, hey, baby. Baby giggles, by the way, it might sound like a little horrifying. That's kind of like, babies make weird sounds. I remember our doctor told us that, like, you know, you might not think your baby's laughing, but baby giggles can sometimes just sound like screams. Sometimes she, like, has a big smile on her face, and then I try to make her laugh, and she goes like that, yeah. And I go, what the heck? And then I look at her, and she's still smiling. And I'm like, oh, okay, I guess she's okay. Ooh, eh. Sometimes you can get her going. If she's in a happy mood, you can get her going with a little, agoo. She's smiling like crazy. Agoo. Oh, she's gonna... When Kate comes down for, you know, the feeding, oh, she's gonna lose her mind. Not Kate. I mean, Kate's gonna be like, oh, what a cute baby. But the baby's gonna be like, oh my god, this is the best thing. Agoo. Agoo. Now that is a cute baby. Oh, man. Anyway, I forgot what I was talking about. Oh, yeah, you know, you're feeling burned out. Your boss tells you to come in on Saturday. Just send him this video and tell him it's a doctor's note. My favorite streamer said if you're suffering from burnout, it's perhaps even more productive to take a day off than it is to come into work, so... Well, I do believe that. But I don't, you know, sometimes you're not in control of your own schedule. I've been there. Oh, man, I remember. This is a long time ago. I'm not trying to necessarily get, like, stolen valor or anything like that. But, you know, for a very brief period of time, I worked at Goodwill, and it was a job that I hated. Solidarity to all the Goodwill workers out there. You know, I don't know if it's a good company or a bad company, like, to be honest. But it was one of those things where, like, you know, first off, we had kind of like super thin margins at the store because it was a non-profit. So, you know, in my opinion, the workers were not particularly treated well, and certainly not paid well. And then secondarily, you're also dealing with the clothing and possession donations that, like, people donate, which is normal, like, it's generous, but also sometimes they throw in, like, you know, urine-soaked clothes and, you know, like, boxes where when you open them up, there's just a bunch of, like, rat poop and stuff in there. Like, it's just a cocktail of misery, right? And I remember, like, I'd have days at work where, like, you know, I'd work maybe, like, 1 to 9, just breaking down boxes and sorting stuff that people brought in. You know, around 6 p.m., you start to have that kind of, like, existential ennui, and I go, you know what? At least I don't have to work tomorrow. And then, like, at 8:45, the boss would be like, okay, great shift. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Ryan, you want to come in at, like, you want to work, like, 11 to 6 tomorrow? And I'd be like, yes, dear. I don't even know. Look, it's been a long time. I don't know if that's copacetic to even do. Like, right at the end of somebody's shift, kind of hit them with the, hey, see you tomorrow? I don't know. Maybe yes, maybe no. I was simultaneously miserable, but also thankful for the shifts, to be honest with you, because, I mean, I spent one shift's income on Daniel Negreanu's World Poker Stars Tour for the Xbox 360. That was a good use of my limited time on planet Earth. There's nothing wrong with the game. It's just like, you know, why was I buying a $40 Texas Hold'em game that was single player only in 2007? Come on, man. Doesn't make any sense. Anyway, this is going to be another great run. Like, I really have very little to complain about in the world of Isaac. This is going to be 12 in a row, I think, which is, you know, I mean, that's a good streak, and moreover, like, I know maybe I should feel, like, almost guilty about this, but really, it's been 12 of the easiest runs in a row I think I've ever had. We ran into the slightest bit of trouble on our last run, but, like, really nothing to write home about. I don't even think we haven't randomed the Lost or the Keeper once, which, I mean, seems unlikely, but now that I think about it, I'm like, there's 11 characters, so I don't think it's not that unusual. I mean, I definitely think I can come up with a lot of situations in which we random them in sequence, like Isaac lost keeper, something like that. So I'm not gonna, you know, be too apologetic about stuff like that that's beyond my control. What do you got for me? Temperance. This is annoying because it doesn't create an item when it blows up. I mean, we do have money equals power. We should pick it up. But I'm always surprised. You know, the slot machine creates an item. Temperance just stores some money. I'm not saying, you know, I sure hope somebody got fired for that mistake. But, you know, just another little edge case you got to remember. But this run was extraordinarily kind. Pretty much top to bottom. Like, this was an awesome run. I had a great time. And, I mean, honestly, looking forward to coming back to some Isaac on Sunday, right, baby? Agoo? She's like, yeah, agoo. Maybe we can give him an agoo on the way out, huh? Agoo? 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 There you go. You got a little baby sound. For now, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed it. Follow me on Twitch, twitch.tv/Northernlion. And of course, click the like button if you enjoyed the episode. Subscribe if you want to see more in the future. I'll see you next time. See ya!